Okay, so what we have here is our 2003 CBR600RR no-cut frame sliders. I guess these are kind of universal for 2003 all the way to 2006. It's going to be the same thing. So now to install it, there's no video, no instructions, no nothing. Some guy posted up a decent video, but I figured I would just explain it a little better. Unfortunately, we're out of camera space when we were installing it, so no installation, but it's pretty straightforward as soon as you actually see the setup. So this is basically on the right side of the bike. You got this main bolt, which is the engine mount bolt. It actually goes all the way to the engine, and you're gonna see right there, point the light. So that's basically the engine block. There's a little spacer there, then there's the actual frame slider bracket, and then there's your frame. Now this bolt obviously is with the bike, but that spacer, the original one, is actually much wider. The frame slider comes with it. It's a narrow one, and on the other side it's going to be a wide one. So the narrow one goes on this side to compensate for the thickness of the bracket itself. Then you just take the bolt and put it back in. One piece of advice: don't take both sides of the bolt out. Both sides of this bolt out at the same time, because the engine will drop a little bit. So you will have a little bit of trouble putting it back on. You'll have to raise it back up a little bit. Now, for the actual bracket, the bracket itself goes behind the frame and in between the engine, so in between the actual bike frame and the engine itself. And there's no bolts up here or anything like that. It just has this one bolt which goes into the horizontal aluminum rod, I guess, that actually fits quite perfectly in between the radiator and the engine there, and goes all the way to the other side. So just so you see, so this side actually goes behind the frame, and on the other side it actually will, I believe, if I recall correctly, thank you, on the other side it actually does not go behind, it actually goes in front of the frame over here. So it also still rests against the actual frame, but it goes onto the front of it. So we have the wide spacer over here, and same thing, this bolt actually goes all the way through. Now this bolt came with the actual frame sliders. I replaced the one that was on the bike. Just take that, get rid of it. This is the one that came with the actual frame sliders. I guess it's shiny, so I just kept that one. And yeah, that horizontal rod that I was telling you about comes all the way across, goes in here, same thing, it's got its own thing. Now this, I guess the ECU, it's gonna be, because this cable's kind of tough and it goes over the actual bracket itself, gonna have a little bit of a trouble, but just gonna like push it in and it will go. So pretty straightforward once you actually see the setup, but without instructions and without having a video like this, yeah, it's not gonna work. So I mean, you know, I really appreciate the only video really that I found of this setup. It really helped me out a lot in figuring how this goes, so I'm gonna link him actually in the description. Thanks. That's it.